Priestess. I'm joining you from Ireland, and today I'm happy to introduce one of our certified Galactic Astrology soul reading practitioners, Zinnia Trinidad Perez Maza. She's joining us from Colorado in the States. Welcome, Zinnia. So good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Julia, for inviting me. My pleasure.
You got certified on August 9th, 2025, and you have such a beautiful website, healingandcrystaltherapy.com, such a brilliant domain, and you offer a variety of services. I feel so honored and happy to see you expanding your toolbox, adding galactic astrology to it. I see mindful yoga, Reiki, holistic massage, crystal healing, family constellations, and now galactic astrology. Such a beautiful, bright light in your soul. I can't wait when we touch on your galactic astrology connections too. But first, I would love to hear about your spiritual journey. How did you get involved with all these beautiful modalities?
Yes. I just wanted to say, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I was always drawn to the stars ever since I was little. I remember just feeling like I did not belong here. I felt this strong connection to the stars, and like I just felt that there was more out there. Now, throughout my years, my teen years, I was very drawn to spirituality, reincarnation. I was so fascinated by learning more. But coming from a very Catholic background, that was seen as something, out of the question, So when I was 13, I found this book. Actually, it was a neighbor of mine that let me read it, and it was called The Third Eye by Lobsang Rampa. And that was my first book and my awakening, because once I read that book, I just knew that, there was more than this life, this earthly life that we had, and that we were here for a higher purpose and mission. And then I was born, so I was raised in Venezuela, but I was born in a little town in Mississippi. My parents actually, my dad went to school in Mississippi, and then, he brought my mom, and then they had me there, and then we went back to Venezuela. So I knew from a very young age, I knew that I was meant to live in the United States. And then I grew up knowing that, once I was out of high school, I was gonna travel here and I was gonna live here. So yes, at 17, I left Venezuela, and then I moved to California, San Francisco precisely. So I lived there for 7 to 8 years. I actually went to college there. And then while I was in San Francisco, what really struck me the most, it was the melting pot. It was meeting people from all over the place, different cultures, background, religion. And then I started, becoming interest in knowing what are the other religions about. So I remember going to a Buddhist temple. I remember going to a Hinduist temple, like everything. I just felt this need of learning. But then I realized eventually that you don't necessarily, this is just my point of view, that I didn't need to belong to a specific religion. I felt that, it's all connected, and to take the good from each religion, and just like make it my own, if that makes any sense. So I've always lived my life like that, like I'm very drawn to every culture, and I truly believe that I've lived in those countries. Like I remember with Egypt, I was just so fascinated when I was 18, learning about the Egyptians and the connection to crystals. And I've always been drawn to crystals, and I have crystals all over the place, especially lapis lazuli. I'm very drawn to that crystal, So anyways, it's just been quite a journey. San Francisco definitely felt like home to me for a long time. And then I moved to Florida. I mean, honestly, it was just so not planned at all. It just happened to be, but I truly believe that it was meant to be. There was a connection with Atlantis. And by the way, just kind of backtracking, I knew about Atlantis since I was 8 or 9. I found this book. I have no idea. Like right now, if you ask me, who was the author or anything, no idea. But when I opened that book and I was super young, I knew as I was reading about Atlantis, I knew that I lived there. Like I had this connection. And for some reason, when I moved to Florida, I felt that there was something that I needed to do there. And I felt more maybe like a karmatic, like there was something that needed to be done there that was connected to Atlantis, you know? And I tell you, at the very beginning, when I moved to Florida, I was not happy. I really missed San Francisco, and I tried many times to go back, but for some reason, of course, now I understand. I needed to be there, for a while, and there was a lot of recurrent dreams of drowning that I had since I was a child. And then they got even stronger when I lived in Florida. So I was just looking in my dreams of this huge tsunami or huge wave that would just come down, and then I would just wake up, and then I had those recurrent dreams for a very long time. Now my spiritual journey started in 2013, because before that, I went to college. I got a degree in broadcasting, and I worked for a TV station for quite some time, even in Miami. But then I realized that it just wasn't fulfilling my soul's purpose. And then I decided just to leave that behind. And then I went back to school, and I got my degree in massage, my license in massage. And then I did my Reiki training. Actually, I did it twice, because the first time I just kind of felt like, no, this is not enough. And then I did it again with this lady that I really resonated with. And then I did my yoga teacher training. So, Julia, this happened like during 2012, 2013, everything all together. It just came to me like, this is what I needed. But it all started with Reiki. I was very drawn to Reiki. And then the Reiki led me to massage, holistic massage. And then obviously the crystals have been there. Like, I feel like they're family to me, And then 2 years later, I got into astrology. Might have been like 2015. And I've always, like I mentioned to you, I had this beautiful connection with the stars, but I had this craving on wanting to learn more, or maybe remember things, that were hidden, right? Because I truly feel that if you're drawn to something, it's because deep inside, there's a connection with it. You've done it before, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so anyways, and then everything started just aligning, like I feel, and I still feel that it's all connected. When I look at a chart, then I'm able to tap into people's stories, and then that's when family constellation also came in. And usually when I do a family constellation therapy, I always look at their chart, because it's incredible how things are there. It's all in your chart, and then it just becomes a little bit easier for you to help and support your client. And then the Galactic Astrology just came, recently. And that's when I knew, this is it. This is what I was looking for, So it was just a perfect combination.
What an exciting journey. It sounds like you were led to everything that you learned before, practiced before another incarnation, and really just remembering it. It all seems to have come to you effortlessly. It feels very natural. What was it like for you when you first saw your galactic astrology chart? And if I may share it, I'm in love with your chart and your placements. Let me see if I can share screen. Do you remember that? I think you enrolled in the practitioner course last year, summer, wasn't it? So
Yes, around that time. And, there were many things happening in my life, and I ended up moving to Colorado, and that's where I'm at right now. So the first thing that really struck me was the connection to Arcturus, because I really feel that energy imprinted in my soul. And then the Pleiadian energy, that's another one that, for me, it feels like home. And when I saw that, I really was so happy. Like, I was like, I knew it. And I mean, just to tell you a quick story, Julia, about the star Maya. So the Maya star, my oldest daughter is named Maya, spelled the same way, Maia. And then when I was, looking for names, it was actually my ex-husband who said, "What do you think about Maya?" And then I said, because I was studying yoga, and then Maya, it's the delusion, the Mayan. And I was like, you know what? I love it, but I just don't like the Y. Why don't we do it with an I, Maia? So we went with Maya, beautiful name, Maya Sophia. And then once I didn't even know, Julia, that there was a star called Maya within the cluster of the Pleiades. So when I saw that, it just clicked to me. It was just, there's that beautiful connection that I even share with my daughter, because I'm sure she definitely brings that energy forth.
That's so wonderful. And I can definitely sense that goodness and kindness in your heart, that positive enthusiasm that Pleiadian people with strong Pleiadian traits have. The way you described how you looked for the common good thread throughout all the religions or anything you've studied, that there is this essence of goodness and kindness in it. And that's what's essential rather than having an identity tied to a teaching. Yeah,
Exactly.
beautiful.
Yes.
With the
Yes.
Arcturus in your 11th house, as you start stepping out into greater service, and I noticed you have some events or workshops on your website too. Have you
Yes.
felt the Arcturian connection as you stepped in the role of a guide and healer for others in a group setting? I bet
Yes,
that became
definitely.
activated there.
Especially when I would teach, like in Florida, I don't do it now, but like the restorative classes with Reiki and sound bath, every time I would connect with, especially the sound bath part. Like, I just felt this strong connection with the Arcturians, and I'm very drawn to sound healing and sacred geometry. That's another thing that I'm just so drawn. Like, if you look around my office, I have, like different patterns, and I'm very drawn to the sacred geometry. So yes, definitely felt that energy of the Arcturians with every teaching, and even through meditations. I'm very drawn to creating meditations, bringing the meditations into my classes, connecting with the breath. I mean, it's just all connected. But yes, definitely feel that energy with me always.
When you mentioned the connection with the Atlantis, did I by any chance use your case study for my presentation in the Atlantean story?
You
Because
did.
I wanted to ask you if you had the square to Uranus with the asteroid Atlantis because of the recall of the tsunami and flood. And so it was your story, wasn't it?
It was mine.
So for
Yes.
anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, on my Patreon, I believe it is now, that there is a webinar with a presentation where I shared several case studies, and Zinnia's story is one of them, showing the chart, but also including the ancient asteroids, ancient lifetimes, indicating asteroids, and her story in connection to the flood and how clearly it is portrayed in the chart, and that there were every case study that was sent to me with the memories of flood, they all had square either of the asteroid Atlantis to either Uranus or Neptune in their chart. So it was quite fascinating how that.
Amazing. And I just wanted to point out that, those dreams that I had of flooding, they stopped. And I truly feel that that was one of the reasons why I needed to be in Florida. Somehow, some way, I needed to clear that energy. And I did take some energy courses back then. And then we went into this meditation in which I saw everything that happened that day, and the feeling, the emotions, I felt that they all got cleared. And ever since then, those dreams stopped. So, and I felt when I moved to Colorado, like something tells, like would tell me, Zinnia, that's a chapter that was closed. You're ready. You're now ready for the new chapter. And it involves the connection to the mountains, the earth, so I feel very expansive where I'm at right now. I feel this is where I need to be right now.
Beautiful. What also got my attention was the connection to the super cosmic hubs. You have your ascendant on the great attractor, you have your midheaven, your public service mission on supergalactic center. Your north node is conjunct Shapley attractor, and your south node is conjunct dipole repeller. And I wonder if you've experienced this expansive sacred womb space in your deepest, most sacred moments.
Yes, when I align with my purpose, and when I'm surrounded by groups, or when I teach my classes, I feel that it enhances when I'm surrounded by people. And I feel it's that Libra energy, right? Like I am meant to be in community. I am meant to not work on my own. I am meant to come together with a group of people or be of service, and I feel that Virgo moon that definitely accentuates that being of
Beautiful.
service and then bringing forth that ancient energy from the dragons. I feel by the way, very drawn to dragons.
I love this so much. And also the Algorab connection. I wonder if in the group setting, as you stand there as a guide, as a support, do you find it natural and easy kind of to tap into and hold space for the darkest moments in their life, like for the shadow to be communicated and held in a safe space so that it can lose its grip?
Yes, definitely. And I feel that, as we go through different shifts and changes, there will be more of a need of holding space for others and hoping others go through this transition that we're going to. So yes, definitely I have feel it, and it has been increasing more.
Beautiful. It's wonderful to hear yet another story of how much healing is occurring almost spontaneously from previous incarnations, from previous lifetimes. I've heard so many of the Atlantean trauma stories being cleared and feeling like a whole new chapter is here now. We are not dragging the old heavy baggage with us anymore.
Yes.
And you're just another wonderful example of that. Instead, now just embracing the gifts of perhaps what you learned in Atlantis as maybe priestess of the goddess, which I sense so strongly with you. Anything in the sacred temples, the spiritual arts, body, mind, soul, that feels very natural to you, like something that is important to bring back into this timeline. Would you agree? Does it all resonate?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. I truly see myself in working in these healing caves in Atlantis. That's why I'm very drawn to, especially the amethyst for some reason. Like I'm just very drawn to the amethyst. I need to have that. I feel like there's definitely something. It transmutes. It clears for me. It clears the old, and I always have amethyst everywhere. It clears the old. It helps. It supports you, because I feel like the crystals are here just to support us, but we need to be open and receptive to receive their healing. They're just here to guide us. And with the amethyst, I feel like it's helping to clear that old stagnant energy so that we can truly, finally be ourselves, and be authentic. Authenticity for me, it's like one of the biggest things, like be myself. And maybe not everybody will resonate with your energy, and that's okay. That's one of the things I have to work on with my Virgo moon. Like it's okay, like whoever not everybody will align with your energy, but the people that will, those are the people that will come to you, so
Worth it for them. Yeah, you mentioned being brought up in a strong religious surrounding, and so it may have taken time before you arrived to this point,
yeah,
right?
still a working process. I feel like it's still a working process because it's like those limited beliefs or those doubts about, or maybe what people would say or things like that are still there. But I truly believe that, it's a working process. We are a working process, right? Like it
Mm.
never ends. So,
It's
but
so
it's good.
it's beautiful to witness on social media when you have someone who stepped into their authenticity, then you notice someone being triggered by that in the comments, and then the person who is in their full authentic expression is no longer bothered by it, sees it
Yeah.
through the lens of love and acceptance and peace, and it's totally fine. Like it's so beautiful to witness that, and I see more and more of that now.
Yeah, that's what we're going or we're moving towards, if you notice, because there's not really perfection. We are, we're perfect our own way, and we're all unique, right? And it's just a matter of accepting each other just the way we are,
That
and
feels so good. Yeah.
release.
Yeah.
It does, right? Release the mask that maybe we've been using for such a long time, and finally be your true essence. And this whole galactic astrology has opened me up even more. Like I just feel more expansive. And that connection that I had with the stars when I was little, for me now, it's like I just smile looking up and looking at the stars because it's like, wow, it's always been there. But it just needed that time, right? To be nurtured, for that energy to come forth, or for that wisdom, right? To finally show up. But it's here. And I feel that, like we have talked before, a lot of people are waking up, to this connection with the stars, remembrance of past lives, in the stars. And it's a beautiful journey, and I think it's just gonna get even more bigger and wider, and it's a big awakening that we're going through since 2010, maybe even before that.
Sure. Yeah. But it's in increasing numbers. It's getting
Yes,
stronger and stronger. But I also
yes.
love about your story from what you shared before that you also feel this really strong connection and almost a need to be with mountains and be with nature. So I just want to highlight that I'm just so grateful to hear in my community and see it over and over that yes, we love and embrace the stars just as much as we love and embrace the earth. We
Yes.
know, right?
Yes, no, definitely. I always say that, when I talk about galactic astrology, it is not about just us being out there, and
Maybe.
like we have to embody ourselves. Like we're here, we're human beings right now. Maybe not the next lifetime but like right now, we need to connect with the earth, and there's a very strong need of that a connection to the earth. But at the same time, then as you connect with the earth, then you open up your mind, you expand, and then you connect with the stars. So it's this beautiful connection to mother, father, right? The heavens and the earth. Yeah. So yes, it is very important to stay rooted. And that's when I feel, Julia, the connection with your body, it's very important. That's why I love yoga. Any type of movement, really. Tai Chi or Qigong. I mean, I'm always so drawn to all of those movements because I feel, and I'm always talking to my hands, and I know I'm not the only one. A lot of people do that because, like, we are able to clear, all that stagnant, all those emotions that are trapped within ourselves. It is our responsibility to clear all that, and we can. We are sovereign beings. Nobody. I mean, not to say that there are people that can support you, but you have to become aware of what is happening in your body. What is it that you're carrying? And it could even be from mom or dad. It could even be even before. That's my passion for the family constellation. That's where it comes in. Because I truly feel that at a very subconscious level, you don't know what you're carrying. Sometimes you don't know, and then once you look into those things, then you're able to tap into it. You bring the attention, and then you're able to clear it. That's it. It's just a matter of becoming aware of what is it that you're holding on to. And do you really want to hold on to it? Is it for your highest best? And then, once you realize that, it's not for you to carry, then you give it back or you clear that energy and then you move forward. And it feels amazing. It's just that it's like you're taking off this heavy backpack, full of rocks and things that are old and they're not even yours. So yeah.
Many people don't even realize that they're stuck at a certain norm of feeling physically, emotionally, psychologically. They think it's normal, it's their norm, and they have no idea how much more amazing it can be, how much more they can feel the lightness and ease and connection and all
Yeah.
these things.
Yes, it has become the normality, for our society. But that's when we need to, a lot of people think with yoga, oh, I'm not flexible enough. And I get that all the time, by the way. I'm like, it's not really about flexibility, it's more about connection with your body. It's more about aligning your mind with your body, with your soul. For me, yoga, it's union, it's a connection to the whole. And that's why I'm strongly passionate about yoga too. Like you gotta move. It doesn't matter, your size, shape, age, doesn't matter. Like we need that.
Can I ask you, I was reflecting on this the other day,
Yeah.
wondering why is it that some people take time to connect with their body and help themselves to feel better and why others don't do it. And I wonder, is it linked to feeling of or the capacity to a certain extent to feel worthy and practicing self-love? If that is not there, then it's really hard to do that for yourself. You would rather do everything else but pay attention to yourself because of maybe unworthiness or something like that. Would you say
I
that in your own experience that you became more and more supportive of your own beautiful vessel, this temple of the human body, when you started becoming more accepting and loving of yourself?
Definitely, yes. And it's like I always say, it's a working process. Every day, it's like peeling the onion, right? Then you find something different, and the more, but it's about keeping that connection within, always checking in, and if something really bothers you, like just don't let it, I know that our society has become very fast. Like everything just happens really fast. We barely have time, especially with technology, right? Like we barely have time for anything, but it is very important to take time for ourselves, even if it means 10-15 minutes, but like to check in, and I do that all the time. I tell myself like, okay, Zinnia, you're too much on your mind. Let's take a moment, take deep breath. And then it's amazing. It's like a whole world opens up when you close your eyes, you tune into the breath, maybe bring your hands, I feel that connection with your chest, with your belly, and then feeling that breath, coming in and out. And it's just, for me, it always reminds me of the oceans, that beautiful waves coming in and out. And then just that, it's self-nurturing, you're really taking care of yourself. And then you start thinking even more clear, what is it that was triggering me or bothering me before? And then you start seeing, is it really worth it, for me to feel this way? And then you start, I always kind of smile like, oh, okay, that's so silly. Like, okay, now it's good. But you see, the only way for me to get to see that is to take that moment for myself. Forget about the rest of the world. It's you, because like you said, this is our beautiful vessel. We have to take care of ourselves. And that shows like, it shows forward. Like, I don't know if that's the word, but like, you know what I mean? Like that essence, like when you really take care of yourself and when you love yourself, people can sense that.
Mm.
It's like how dogs can sense fear. Same thing. People can sense that, and it is definitely important. Yeah. Thanks for asking that because I see that a lot.
So beautiful. With your galactic astrology soul reading sessions, have you noticed any pattern of what type of client stories you seem to be attracting, or is there anything particular that you are most excited about exploring with your clients? Tell me more about the sessions when people connect with you. What is their journey like?
Yes, I get really excited every time I read a chart because it's so fascinating. It's like opening up this book, right? This sacred book. And
Mm.
it always amazes me to see, especially connections with mother daughter or within the family, in which they share that connection, maybe with a specific star. Also, there was a reading that I did for a baby. And then I was telling the mother how he carries a lot of that avian energy connection with the eagles, the birds, and the owls. And then she was telling me that when she was pregnant, and even before she got pregnant, she was seeing owls everywhere. And then she felt like the energy, the essence of the baby was coming through,
Mm.
from that owl. And then when she saw that beautiful connection that the baby had with the avians and with
Amazing.
the eagles, I mean, she just like smiled. She was like, wow, it just makes sense. So it's nice to see that, those type of stories.
The
um
validations, yeah.
the validations, yeah. There's one lady that she does a lot of sound healing, and she also uses her hands when she does healing, and she has this beautiful connection with the Arcturians. I truly feel that the Arcturians
So
have a lot to do, right, with the sound healing and sacred geometry and things that are related to sound, you know. So yes, so I've seen this over and over again, and it's just so beautiful with my own daughter, that she has that connection with the Pleiadians, within her chart. And then, she's Maya, that's her name. So it's
yeah,
just beautiful to see that. But yes, I have seen that many times. And I love, for me, it's so fascinating to read someone's chart. And the fact, and I feel very honored that they allow us, right? Because it is such a very sacred information that they're sharing with us. Like once we're able to tap into their chart, it's like I treat it like a baby. It's like, oh my God, this is gotta be sensitive and gentle. And even
fresh.
when you, right, it's a precious thing. And ultimately, I want people to really realize how unique and beautiful each of us are, because we are really, like, we have this beautiful makeup of different things, right? It's kind of like somebody is just putting different type of mixtures together, and there you are with these beautiful colors, like the auras, right?
I love it.
So I enjoy it so much doing chart readings, and I have to thank you, because if it wasn't for galactic astrology, I mean, I've always been drawn to astrology and I love astrology, but with the galactic side of it, it just opened up like a different world. But at the same time, like you said, it's the remembering, like you knew this before, but then now you're tapping into it, and it just feels amazing. And it's such an honor for me every time I have a client and they allow me to do their galactic chart reading. I mean, such a high honor, really, and be of support for them, be there for them.
Thank you so much for sharing your passion, your heart, and pouring your heart and love into this modality. I'm so grateful that you were drawn to it. What an honor to have you joining our community. I was thinking about that just today, actually, that it is that sense of validation and clarity that we offer, because there, in a way, we know who we really are on a soul level, but we have such a strong doubting, self-doubting program instilled in us for so
Yeah.
long, for so many generations. We have been
Yes.
led to believe that we are disconnected from God. We need a middleman. The connection, the intuitive abilities were forbidden, were suppressed. So it's just so ingrained in our DNA to
Yes.
doubt that we really can and that we really are these amazing beings of light and love filled with infinite potential. So I really
Exactly.
love
And
galactic astrology or astrology for that very reason, just how these self-doubts melt away and we
yes.
can, it's just like there's greater sense of peace in accepting or no longer fighting the truth, right, of what we knew. Mm.
Exactly. And, to remind everyone that we all have a higher purpose, our life matters, we are here for a purpose, it's not like we were just dropped here. We chose to be here. I mean, this is how I feel. And then we come with all of this wisdom that we bring from different parts of the galaxies and different, past life. And then it's just a matter of tapping into that. What is it that you're meant to do here? How can you not only help yourself, but then how can you be of service to humanity, especially now in this big transition that we're going to? So that's what I love about also readings, because a lot of people ask me, so why do we need, how is that of a benefit, to do the galactic chart reading? And then I always tell them that because then you tap, and then I feel that you can even activate that within you with the chart, right? Like maybe you didn't know. And then somehow, some way, as you're reading your chart, you're looking at your chart, and then what you come with, then something within you awakens, and then you remember. It's like, gosh, I'm here, and there's a higher purpose, and I don't want to waste any time. I want to focus on that purpose, you
Yes.
know? Yeah, and then you have created this beautiful community. I am very grateful. I love, all the people, all your interviews are amazing, and I just wanted to say, wow, like, great job. I mean, I know you do, but like, wow, keep up that beautiful job because
Thank you.
you're
Thank you
helping
so much.
so many of us.
Mm.
Yeah.
What is up for you? Do you have any plans that you have, or
You
right
know,
now you feel in your
yeah,
rhythm of sessions?
another thing that I started doing were yoga and healing retreats.
Mm.
So I have done Mount Shasta, California, Sedona, and that's something maybe because my moon is in the house 9 that I feel drawn to traveling and learning about different cultures. So last year, I had in my mind that I wanted to do an international yoga retreat, and then it
Mm.
ended up being Italy because I'm very attuned to Italy. I definitely know that I had many lifetimes in Italy. So, Julia, I visualized it south of Italy. Somehow, some way, everything would just come through, and people were like, "You're crazy! How are you going to do that?" But you know what? It happens, and it was actually this year in March, and it was just beautiful. Like, wow! Like I felt like this is one of my callings, to host yoga retreats. And it's not really only about the yoga. There's different things, we do meditation, sound healing, we do connecting with the earth and things like that. So the next one will be next year to Spain, you know?
Uh,
So it always comes to me before I even plan it. Like I know Greece is in the back of my head. And like, I don't know, it just kind of comes to me. Boom, 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 senior. Like maybe not. I know that I'm being guided to take people to specific parts of the world, you know? So by the way, if you ever have the opportunity to go to Mount Shasta, California, oh my God, Julia, I've been there 3 times. And
I've
you,
been in my dream state. I've been there and I recall details that I've never seen in real life before. And then after the dream, I saw that actually that building exists. It's there. So
wow, That's
I can't wait to
amazing.
go in person. Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever have the opportunity to go, that's the one place that I tell you have to go. You know, you feel
Mm.
like home there. And actually, you feel like you're not on Earth. You feel like
Yeah.
you're in another planet. So, you know, if you ever have that opportunity, do it. And then the energy's there, it's just out of this world, really.
Do you
Yeah.
have a subscription on your website so that we can be notified about your upcoming retreats, or how do we find out what's next?
Through my social media pages,
Okay.
yes. Also my website too. Like if you go to healingandcrystaltherapy.com, then you'll see I have a feature, the next retreat, and then you can actually go back and look at past retreats, and you can see pictures. And by the way, the pictures from Shasta, like the energy, wow, it's just what you capture there is just amazing. But anyways, you could go to healingandcrystaltherapy.com. I also feature the galactic chart reading there. And yeah, and all that information is there on my social media. So I have two different Instagram pages. Like I have Healing and Crystal Therapy, also on Facebook. And then I have Zinnia Healing Yoga, which is more focused on my yoga um, journey. And yeah, yeah. So the next one is to Spain, to Andalusia, a place called
Oh,
Cadiz. Yes.
wonderful. That's next year, 2026.
Yes. June 2026. I love doing
Well done.
retreats. You know, it really fills my soul every time I do that. So I'm gonna continue to do that. And then I also, you know, take clients. I have some of my Zoom yoga classes. They're not really open to the public. They're more private clients. But I mean, I'm open to also, you know, teach via Zoom, or I'm trying to get to know the area where I live because I just moved here recently. I've only
Uh-huh.
been here for like 4 months. So, you know, I'm just kind of checking out the yoga places, and maybe what, you know, as I'm more drawn with the galactic energy, then maybe that's the reason why I'm here. Like I'm meant to be here in Colorado, you know, at least for
So
the
many
time
more,
being.
yeah, so many more mysteries to be unraveled. It's
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
it's wonderful to see the synchronicities just beautifully unfolding in your life. You really are led, and what a gift, what a treasure you are. Thank you so much for shining your light and joy and love
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
brightly. As we close, is there any parting message as we are recording this on the 18th of November 2025? Can't believe it's the end of the year, but what do you feel collectively in the air? And as we prepare for the next year, how would you like to close this?
I I feel that, you know, there is this amount, something is awakening in everyone and even Earth. And this awakening right now, it feels very joyful. Like there's something that tells me that there's something big coming, but it's actually a really good thing for humanities, for this the country, for everybody. You know, like I just feel very good about what's coming, and I just want to let people know that, you know, don't give up. You know, your life matters. You know, you're precious. You're here for a higher purpose. And the more you connect with who you truly are, the more we can all come together and work together. Because ultimately, our life gets stronger and shinier when we work together.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. You know, such a pleasure to be here with you and with your beautiful community and to be part of your community. Yeah.
Thank you, Zinnia. Thank you, sister. It really feels like reconnecting, reuniting. Such an honor, such a pleasure. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. We're going to include Zinnia's links to her social media channels as well as her beautiful website, healingandcrystaltherapy.com, so that you can connect with her and have a beautiful journey with her offerings. Much love to you all. Take care.